junglers that they were talking about so much used Nidalee yesterday and crushed with it. So maybe Nidalee will rise in priority. There's so many floating around, though, since Kindred has returned to the pool.
That's right.
There's a lot of aggressive junglers that you can go for. Nidalee has already surfaced and will not take place in this game.
Saw a bit of that Quinn versus Fiora last time from Huni that will be kind of locked out by the Quinn. Fiora still being left up. And the Graves also gets banned out. We've been seeing quite a bit of play from him in the top and the jungle. Yeah, quite every region. There's the Fiora actually getting banned out as well. Both Quinn and Fiora coming from the side of Team Liquid.
Yeah. Okay, so top lane, yeah. Top lane, a lot of top lane focused bans.
Yep.
Also, Elise is up in the jungle, which is fairly rare. These guys may fight over that champion because definitely has a lot of good early game making, playmaking abilities. Especially with Nidalee and Graves off of the table. Looks like they will settle on this Lulu, though, for Immortals. Then that just opens up for their entire composition. Can play really whatever you want around Lulu. And really is a great champion for enabling WildTurtle. Everybody's been talking about, his return to his old style, which is the frontline style. Yesterday, they used 2 healers and a shielded mid laner.
It looks good now.
So today, they've already got shields as well as the wild growth ready for him if he does want to be on the front line.
He's been empowered. He's kind of back to his old self and his old play style of not being afraid to go a little bit harder.
Today, the power of the Pixies will be with him. Lulu at his back.
He's going to have some true aim to be hitting Kalista going in the hands of Piglet here. Master tier Kalista player, if there were anyone. Dardoch now on Elise. He gets the champion of his choice, which is also going to be huge for Liquid's early game. Having Dardoch on something aggressive really helps to start the pace for them. And getting pace against Immortals is imperative.
This is 6.2 Rengar that ReignOver is hovering over, so I don't know if he'll still go through with it. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Not going to go with the nerfed Rengar. More standard Elise Rek'Sai. We've seen this one before. Matchup in the jungle. ReignOver maybe will go a little bit more hard farming routes. We'll see what Dardoch can get done with the Elise in the jungle. Very, very strong since all the speed items have had their cost reduced. Current state of the game, you can get the 10% from your runic echoes, plus a very cheap Boots of Swiftness, and Elise moves around lightning quick, able to get off a lot of ganks. Or you can opt to go with the Cinder Hulk and try and match tankiness.
A really easy way to catch people off guard is being able to close that angle with your cocoon so quickly. We'll for sure see Dardoch getting his hands dirty early in the game. What will it be? The switch from Azir to Corki. Corki was left up throughout this pick ban phase for game 1 in FeniX. We're going to take that into the mid lane for sure.
Yeah, things starting to shape up here with an old pick as well. Maokai returning to the scene. Impact had 1 game on it, but it's been a very rare champion so far this season, pretty much across the world. Definitely does provide a good front line here, though. And with Kalista already on the team, it looks like there's going to be a very balanced team fighting comp here from Team Liquid. Corki, I'm assuming, is going mid lane, not top or anything crazy like that. And Maokai is going to take that top spot, so they'll just save their support, and the Bard is being moused over there as it's been Matt's by far his most successful champion.
But not having Adrian on his Janna or his Soraka, it's just so good. It's so much protection, so much control over the team fights. It's like he plays an extra mini game and just keeps everybody alive throughout them. We've seen the shutouts happen already, and we've seen the very quick games from Immortals from the protection he provides, and it will be the Janna lock-in. We also get an Ekko coming in this game, however. I feel like that could be Huni's.
Yeah, definitely. Well, technically you could take the Lulu up to top lane for
sure,
but that's definitely not a Huni champion. Probably going to be that Ekko, as you said, for the top lane to try and punish this Maokai. If they do look for standard lanes, it looks like really both teams setting up with a lot of team fight utility here. Immortals have the Janna plus the Lulu for WildTurtle's Caitlyn. And they just want to get to that point where they can siege up, and then they have so many shields. It'll be hard to get to that back line.
That Bard's still up. It played a huge role for Liquid yesterday when Matt had that for Baron plays, for stopping, starting, and really just engaging.
Yeah,
overall.
As good as his Bard is, though, if you are given the Kalista Alistar combo on a silver platter, most teams have taken it, and most teams have found success with it. So that's a very nice way to round out the comp here for Team Liquid. We're talking about a lot of team fighting focus here. They're bringing a lot of crowd control to the mix. So, you know, with Maokai and Alistar assisted by Kalista, they may just be able to get to that back line of WildTurtle, even with the Lulu and Janna. I think this will be a very interesting mid-game. I actually think that it might be a bit slower of an early game, unless Dardoch on this Elise is able to create something for himself. Just looking at the lanes, though, they look like they're difficult to gank, save for the top lane.
Right, if they can get something onto Huni, take him down. I mean, who do you even focus on this team? Like, what's the good way to go against the Immortals?
Yeah, I mean, Huni has, focusing on Huni, focusing on that top lane has been a strategy that has been, you know, semi-successful against them in the past. And if there's one thing about Maokai in the lane phase, he is good at setting up ganks, because usually, especially versus melee champ, you'll be in range for the Twisted Advance to try and set that up. Maybe they can
get a check on that tilt factor for Huni. We'll see. Don't forget to let us know who you think is going to take the cake. It's not a lie. Tweet at LOL Esports with the hashtag IMTWin or the hashtag TLWin to let us know who is having dessert for this first game here. We'll check back with your responses in just a few. We're about to get on the Rift. Does Immortal keep this consistent, fast-paced game on lockdown? Or does Liquid take their streak away from them and give them their first loss? Immortals versus Liquid. We are on the Rift, and we're about to find out. The cheers, the chants, all around as the players make their way to the line of scrimmage, most likely to start this one off.
Yeah.
Potion of Corruption for FeniX to start, and otherwise pretty orthodox.
Yeah, the standard defensive fan out here. We have seen teams do late blind swaps still after setting up with this defensive opening and laying down their wards, but I'm actually really looking forward to standard lanes. I hope that they stay in standard lanes so that we can see Matt and Piglet down bottom try and take over WildTurtle and Adrian. They talked about it in that video opening. They want to try and gain their advantage on that bottom side because ReignOver has been focusing top side so often. And it looks like they will stay in standard lanes, even with that deep ward here from Immortals. We'll see the Gromp start. But that shouldn't change any of the gameplay for either side. Both junglers starting top side as well, so they will end their routes on bottom. And we may actually see more action down bottom than we're expecting.
Get a big rumble down there once they get to it. Even with 3 bans towards the top side. Maybe, I can't remember if one was too big of a flex or not. I know the Gangplank was up there, and it's Fiora. Everything pretty much targeted at Huni. He still tries to get a carry champion to make this game stronger for Immortals from the top lane.
Yep, and down bottom here, the WildTurtle Adrian combo of Janna Caitlyn is very difficult. Just if you keep it as a 2 versus 2, because you know Janna's shield and Caitlyn's got the extra range to work with. Oh, I think he missed one. Nope, he got all 3. Oh, no, actually, that was the Krug. He did miss one.
All right, level 2. How about Pulverize? That's what you're talking about, Kobe. That miss of XP, not having the right amount of CS. The heal is down. That's going to be marked by Team Liquid.
We didn't have to wait long, Riv. Team Liquid.
That's what they were waiting for. He called it out.
Push down those minions. They get the early level 2. Matt immediately going in for the combo. And they get 3 summoners for 1 on the bottom side. Remember, the junglers are still ending their routes down bottom. Immortals are pushed under turret, so probably no gank this early, but maybe ReignOver tries to relieve some pressure. Ooh, he has snuck over the back of the dragon for a sneaky gank path, but stops off for the 800 HP crab.
Easy takings there. Actually, just on the other side of the wall, small game of cat and mouse.
Too slow.
Dardoch and ReignOver, and you're all right. Too slow to get the engage.
Also walked too close to the Scuttle Crab and was seen, even if that ward wouldn't see him. He's just coming down to ward for his bottom lane.
It's a nice guy. Nice Dardoch.
Yeah, that's the thing about, you know, Kalista Alistar. It is scary because of the all-in. However, you know, if there's perfect vision coverage, Caitlyn, Janna can just whittle you down from range here. Let me check if Matt has gotten heal level 3. Yes, sir. So they actually should be just fine down there too.
So we saw a bit of fighting between Huni, Lourlo on the top lane. Not much is going to come from that. So we see some teleport plays. I'm sure Huni will be trying to push that lane in quite a bit. ReignOver finds himself now on Team Liquid's jungle. We'll see how much damage he can do here to Dardoch.
Ooh, look at this though. Elise is hovering on the bottom side. And Matt does have flash, remember, for Alistar. Turtle, no summoners, with an Alistar with combo and flash ready.
Hard to engage. It's a great position in the lane, though, for him.
Man, all because of the level 2. The experience all in, advantage all in there. Pretty big advantage for Team Liquid bottom lane. And as Matt was talking about in the video, they've been able to earn their own advantage down there. 2 versus 2, 10 CS lead. They've got the wave in a nice spot at their turret as well.
Well, if you're waiting a whole season, or for how long the season has been to get this lane matchup, you better make sure it goes in your favor quickly. We saw both bot lanes going for Grump and Krug immediately in the beginning to get that early lead. We'll see how Adrian and Turtle can repair it. Obviously, a safe lane from now on. They're taking Krugs over and over again, already being a wave and just about a half behind. Parallel Convergence goes in, locks him up inside it. And that's going to pretty much lock down Huni for too much damage.
Yeah, draws a lot of ooze, but not a lot of damage there. Didn't even get the 3rd hit for the passive.
Good way to play around it.
It is a Maokai. Nice use of Twisted Advance there as well. And Lourlo just walks to safety. He actually plays it really safe and goes for a full recall to purchase. Double wind speakers here for both supports. 80 carries, really favoring Fervor now. Yeah, almost all 80 carries. It's actually settled into a pretty common masteries, keystone masteries for all roles, as jungle are pretty much all strength of ages now as well.
Got a little bit more time to fight, a little more time to stack up. Do more damage. Hello, ReignOver.
A little bit of damage here.
Looks like his pathing on the bottom is done anyways. He should be backing after this. Oh, man.
Got one in the minion there for the reset as well.
Very nicely done.
Not going to do too much, though, as he was heading back to base anyway. And also, the mid lane is actually drawn back to fairly even in CS after that recall from FeniX. So those two trading fairly well.
Interesting to look at the early game against Immortals. Is it kind of like if you go even against Immortals in the early game, are they still winning at this point because of the strength they have during team fights and the control of the map once the lanes break? It might be hurt here by Dardoch. Oh. Just kidding.
I mean, just kidding. You can see it in the play, though. Turtle and Adrian are playing so safe after they got all in and had to blow all those summoners. They altered their gameplay. This is exactly what you have to do, you know, depending on the matchups, depending on the early stages of the game. They didn't have these summoners to work with, so they played very safe from then on. Yes, it did also cost them CS, but they haven't given up a kill. And Dardoch has been bottom hovering at least twice so far, which has allowed ReignOver on this Rek'Sai to gain a farm advantage for himself, and right now a single level advantage for himself.
See if they get another one. Adrian tries to stand right on Turtle there to kind of take the attacks away. But that's what you're talking about, the disengage and kind of the poke back. Piglet definitely loses out on that trade overall.
Ooh, ReignOver sees him.
Just chilling. He waits for a second. Dardoch gets the smite out. Is he actually going to give it over in the end? He will decide to walk out of this one. Pobelter's coming down. The flash is in. He's going to go ahead and repel the picks. A lot of pressure in there from Immortals to get red, but Dardoch still is able to get away with it, so not hurt too bad in that situation.
Yeah. So Dardoch was able to remain calm and smite the red, not only for the health back, but also to get it, just because, you know, ReignOver didn't have his smite up.
What a
Dardoch didn't quite know that, but he was still able to grab it. So, you know, ReignOver's trying to push his advantage, but so far he's been unsuccessful in stealing too much away. Does get one small baby golem there.
Cash money, though. All right, a little back and forth. ReignOver was actually really testing the waters there on Liquid, and it seems like Dardoch reacted quite easily, or quite well with FeniX.
Yeah.
Blue buff will be safe for him overall. That will help FeniX in the mid lane here. That's 73 to 71, so Pobelter and FeniX are pretty much going.
Yep. Most of the gold lead here for Immortals is in the jungle for ReignOver over Dardoch.
41 to 26.
With a little bit of it also being Huni in the top lane. But Team Liquid still trying to play around the bottom lane. Piglet and Matt have done well for themselves.
Something I can see wrong going for this bot lane is that Piglet and Matt aren't getting that kill that they want, so you might go a little bit harder and keep trying for it. Dardoch's here in the bot lane now. Here's going for that kill. ReignOver's the first hit. A nice Monsoon to disengage, and a Howling Gale hits 2. Dardoch was up, and he repelled. Nobody could follow just yet. Lourlo, with a very late TP, is in the wrong spot at the wrong time and forced the flash. And Immortals just dance around the engage.
Yep, both top laners TP down. Lourlo on the wrong side of the turret, though, from the rest of the team, does use his flash to get out. And we've got all 5 members down bottom for each team.
It's a party. And nobody had any gifts. Nobody. So Dragon's still up. It doesn't even look like anybody can get that after. There was still damage done. So it's just backs and the lanes in mid to farm.
FeniX had a gift, just nobody wanted it. He had the package, and nobody wanted to take it.
We waited all that time.
All said and done, though, that just means that top lane now is actually a target that you can go for. You know, Lourlo does not have flash. FeniX, I don't think he got that. Maybe he did. Riv?
What, Kobe?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm going to rewind.
I was looking at Lourlo's flash because you mentioned it. You said it was down, Kobe! You're a prophet! Oh, they're going for Lourlo because the flash is down! One more, there's the 3-tap. ReignOver and Huni gonna lock it down. They're giving it to Huni. Takes the Ekko top to try and carry, and he's off to a good start.
Yeah, jungler sees flash down for a long laner. And it's a Maokai who does not have any escapes, so
like
good targeting there by ReignOver. He goes to get Huni ahead, and they do get their first blood. ReignOver keeps his streak alive. 8 out of 8 games in North America. First blood for the team.
Jeez. Say it gets him going too, and Huni is confident. He can make some bad plays, but most of the time they're actually huge impact plays that get him 2 or 3 kills, and the team's able to push quite a bit. Still adding pressure to the top side. It's going to have to be respected here by Lourlo.
Yeah.
Pobelter gets blue to go back towards the mid lane. Pressure relieved for a second here. We'll see Lourlo come back to lane. I don't know if anything's going to happen until we see the dragon fight. It's just pretty much Huni going hard when he can.
Yeah, Huni now also got an extra wave doing that as well, so pretty decent advantage over Lourlo. Lourlo on the Maokai, though, is going to try and be that team fight top laner. Just bring his CC and damage reduction to the next team fight. They do break out once teleports come back up.
All right. Engage mid. That Thunderlord's proccing out. Pobelter makes sure he walks in a little bit to get the knockup. That means the aggression's going to happen down to the bot side. Turtle gets pushed too close, and Liquid's been looking for the kill the entire game. They finally get it as Immortals pushed up a little too far.
I'm actually curious as to the setup there, because Turtle and Adrian had been playing so safe for so long, giving up CS and not exposing themselves to that all-in.
That was a full combo from Matt, flash and all.
Yeah, but Matt able to get the flash there, and Turtle locked up, not able to flash away. Uh-oh, repeat gank top for ReignOver, though, and the turret's already dead.
Bad timing for Lourlo to be there. Not looking at the big picture in this situation. We just saw Lourlo go down. Is this another kill for Huni? If ReignOver leaves this one up, it will be. And the rest of the map is being pushed in the mid lane right now by Immortals. This is not going to be good. Dardoch does pick up Dragon during this top fight, but they're gaining some ground on Immortals' side.
Not too big of a surprise, actually. You know, Immortals, again, focusing top lane. And Team Liquid, you know, after seeing that video, the bottom lane focus is actually paying off for them. CS lead, plus turret, plus kill from the bottom lane. And Piglet is going to set up on this Kalista have a very strong mid game. So it's going to be, you know, the AD carry ahead jumping out to a very quick first item versus the Ekko on top side. An assassin for Huni. Can he get to the back line and try and take out either the Corki or the Kalista? It's going to be very hard considering Immortals lineup. I mean, well, considering both lineups, because Immortals are more about protecting WildTurtle with the double shields than they are about enabling Huni to get to the back line.
Yep.
We'll see how he runs this Ekko. Maybe more of a mid-line Ekko. ReignOver invading again, though.
Yeah, talking about Huni, having Huni pushed up that far has allowed ReignOver to just destroy the topside jungle. Red Raptors almost made a gank mid. He is 2 steps ahead of the game right now, and just having that top turret down added so much pressure for them. Team Liquid's definitely going to have to answer reactively now. I don't think they have a choice to put anything in lead unless Matt gets that flash back up. Still looking good on both sides. Not too big of a lead for Immortals. Keep watching ReignOver. He's definitely putting a lot of pressure down.
Yeah.
Spending more time in Liquid's jungle in his own.
Top side versus bottom side. Really the biggest difference, I think, comes in the vision game. Immortals have been able to play some on Team Liquid's side of the camp, side of the jungle here, across the river, whereas Team Liquid are trying to huddle up and just play defensively, especially on that top side there for Lourlo. Lourlo's been taking a beating during his flashless state.
Yeah, they played on that twice. Usually you only see 1 gank, or not even any. They just know that his flash is down and maybe Huni will make a play off of it, but for sure try to get him.
Just by taking out that river ward here for Team Liquid, they force Huni to go back because it is such a long lane. Now they are at least denying some CS from him.
Oh. Doesn't hit the time winder or get the slow that he wants, so Immortals just playing a bit of a pressure game. They may flood towards middle here. And his mid turret is quite low. Be going down.
Yeah, they're collapsing on mid very quickly. Caitlyn's not there though.
Yeah.
So like the main part of their siege isn't really here. So even though they do have Janna, Lulu, they're ready. No Caitlyn means I don't think they're actually going for the mid turret right now, as they send WildTurtle up to the top side to try and clean CS. Looks like both teams just trying to farm till their mid game power spike. They're both fairly confident in their team fights.
Looked like they had the movement with Piglet topside, but WildTurtle had already backed. Not too much CS discrepancy throughout the lanes. It really leaves this fight, next fight, up to anyone, but this is where Immortals starts to get that edge. Everybody on Team Liquid, or just a few, will start to take damage, hits. You see Huni take down Lourlo or ReignOver, and then it's a lot harder for that tank to do what he needs to in the fight.
Yeah, ReignOver
has to back all
is already bullying the top laner. Jungler, same level as the top laner. And if he finds Lourlo, gets a great trade off in the jungle. Gonna force him back. And Immortals claim another turret with Huni splitting down bottom. Let's see if Team Liquid can actually create a play on top. There is teleport available for Huni. So Team Liquid, while they kind of want to make him blow teleport, have to be very careful.
Matt is very far in.
There's the teleports.
Good whimsy coming from Pobelter. TP of Lourlo is in, but Huni is a little farther behind, ready to pincer with the team. He chrono breaks back, but he has got 4 members on him. Flashes over the wall, but he pulls a lot of resources from Liquid, and this is where Immortals is going to re-engage. A nice hit by ReignOver. Monsoon Matt back. He's got the Unbreakable Will on. It's actually very hard for both teams to get any targets in this fight. They're only finding tanks, and it is going to be ReignOver going down first. Dardoch falls.
Whoa,
the junglers are out. Here it comes onto Matt. One more shot. That's going to be Huni going in with the phase dive. Now under Lourlo, a double kill for WildTurtle as he gets rolling. Piglet and Turtle in the standoff for the duel. The Frost Bomb comes over, breaks up the fight, and Pobelter out of left field coming up through the turret. It looks like Immortals have won the ground, and to make peace, it's gonna be WildTurtle taking down Corki. Piglet, or rather, FeniX falls. Too much happening.
FeniX just walking back and forth there in the mid-range, and Turtle extends the olive branch. But man, so the beginning of this fight is actually really uncoordinated. This is the first, I was thinking this is the first uncoordinated team fight that we've seen from Immortals, because it's an engage there from Huni. They end up blowing the Lulu ultimate really early, but then ReignOver gets a massive knock-up onto the back line, and FeniX is basically taken out of this fight. Adrian actually shoves the back line and separates this team into 2 squads so that Immortals can then whittle down the front line. And even though Team Liquid get that first kill, Turtle is buffed up by Lulu and Janna, goes on the chase, flash nets in to try and take out FeniX, even though FeniX had a good Valkyrie right there. This is the 1 versus 1. FeniX tries to add the Frost Bomb, and Piglet actually flashes out at the same time, but Pobelter, as you know, cleans up the one-on-one. And then this right here, Frost Queen claims slow.
Over the shoulder.
But he's just should have kept. I don't know what he could have gotten back there, but wow, man, Immortals do end up cleaning it up.
That went all the way from blue buff to their second tier mid.
Yeah, I mean,
such a long fight, and that's why we see the AD carries taking that further. Exactly that reason. If the fights last forever. This one, however, may have a bit shorter of a time, but not if Adrian has something to say about it. They go right back into it after coming up from being dead. Shots are onto Dardoch. They want it onto Matt. They repel out. They are finally going to be able to take down Pobelter in this. He gets pushed off the turret, and Team Liquid is just trying to put a stranglehold down until it works. Well, pressure on the bot now by Huni.
Yeah, Huni's been pushing this entire time, and he got a tower during that. It's an outer turret traded for a secondary turret and a little bit of inhibitor turret damage, but even with Team Liquid taking that many turret shots, it's still going to be in their favor. They should be able to get 2 off of this, as Huni might come out with a blue steal or something on the exit, but that's about it. So good play there from Team Liquid to come out with the advantage right after that team fight loss. It looks like Immortals were in that position because they just took Rift Herald, and ReignOver is currently wearing the buff. But man, that happened really quickly after the replay.
Whew. Straight back into it.
All right, blue buff and dragon.
Dragon number 1 for them. They're going to short any kind of fast dragon 5, so Liquid looking for something else. Dragon will just be a place to fight now. 4 items coming out. Righteous Glory. Haven't actually seen it in quite a while. Lourlo goes for that first to continue getting Team Liquid into these fights, helping Matt get to where he needs to be.
He is all about the team fight and trying to force it. The only problem is that when you're trying to force a team fight like that against another team that has a decent team fight setup, who's already ahead.
And Monsoon.
Immortals are pretty far ahead in gold. Unless Team Liquid can clean up some turrets, Immortals just need to hold on right now, and then they'll have the Janna, Lulu, late game Caitlyn, which will be very difficult to engage on. So far, Lourlo and Matt have done a pretty good job of getting to that back line, but you know, as we saw in that last team fight at mid, Turtle was left standing at the end of it. Was able to clean up the ace for Immortals.
Interested to see how much of the fact that Liquid can make plays from being 5-6K down still holds true from previous seasons, because they are a team that knows how to make plays still from really not having a good engage or having the gold to engage. They are definitely items behind right now, and it's only going to make it more difficult.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Dardoch, Matt, and Lourlo can find a way with this composition and keeping FeniX to Piglet safe.
Yeah. The extra money as well as the control over the map that your outer mid lane turret provides is actually pretty big too. Immortals holding on to their mid lane outer turret is quite big. ReignOver actually going for the engage with Huni's flank.
Huni just walks on over, no TP needed, so if they win this fight, they have pressure all over the map. Matt doing what he can to help.
Yeah.
The Fate's Call is already used, so he's forced to flash over the Raptor wall. There's no quick follow, but Immortals wants to push with a full team. Power in numbers as they continue to stick to Team Liquid's heels. It looks like they make it to the base, but this is going to be minion waves crawling now up to the inhibitors. ReignOver very hard over the wall. Adrian looking for saves and heals in the right position. If he has to go harder, he might just do it. An ace in the hole from WildTurtle as they continue to whittle down Team Liquid from across the map to their base.
That's the thing, this massive team fight with the double supports. Huni even getting a lot of shielding himself on the front lines. Does get cocooned, but he should be able to get out just fine. Or not!
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Turtle's almost getting kills with no mono over here. This is happening.
Get out just fine. Adrian's able to protect him, and the Immortals back off there.
They just have so much confidence in their play. It keeps Team Liquid from committing to situations even like that. When you have a guy against the wall, you don't want to go too close because you don't want Caitlyn to crush you over the wall with a headshot.
Yeah.
Everything that Immortals is doing is just putting so much pressure.
We saw the frustration there at the beginning of that team fight. You know, Team Liquid, Lourlo, and Matt trying to get to the back line here. So they actually engage on Lourlo, just start cracking right through the front line. Dardoch's basically taken out of the fight at the beginning.
Missed.
The Kalista ultimate doesn't hit anyone, so Matt can't get back to the back line. Turtle's free firing, even though it's on an ulted Alistar. This damage they're able to chip away at Team Liquid as they try and retreat, just continuing to chip and chip away, and Huni finally able to pick up the kill there as ReignOver flashes in after the death, but has the Lulu ult to back him up.
Who else would be in the base? Huni and ReignOver. Go figure. Going crazy together, making plays.
But you know, it's one of the things that we come back to with Immortals. They trust each other so much.
Yep.
They keep on having multiple members on sort of support champions. You know, whether it's multiple heal champions or multiple shield champions. Pobelter's happy to let, you know, Huni and Turtle carry the game and carry the majority of the DPS here. Lulu plus Janna provides so much support for either carry.
Yeah, and those are plug and play for Pobelter. That's where he's been, providing a lot of utility for the mid lane.
Yeah.
And also holding very consistent throughout the mid lane play, so he's not a problem area. Come late game.
Whatever the team needs.
Yeah.
ReignOver happy to play the tank as well. Rek'Sai, definitely a favorite of his.
We do see that Huni likes his carries, though. For going back to the 3 bans against him, still picks Ekko. And that also calls the question, what do you do against this team? Focus Huni, you try to play to his lane. It doesn't work. Try to put him up against a tank that can kind of live with low econ. Doesn't work. It becomes very hard to figure out how to beat these guys.
Yeah.
Pick bans.
And
then the game's going to be harder.
Yeah, and it's also really smart because, yes, they have WildTurtle, and they also have this giant AP threat from the top lane. So you know Turtle's going to be hard to take down and deal a lot of damage in the late game because you've got the Janna shielding him with extra AD. So they pick an AP assassin for Huni. And he's able to provide that AP threat, though he does get stunned. And he's back to where he teleported from. It was too quick.
Huni, he's running all the way from Wolves now. If you don't see it on the mini-map, he went all the way back from his TP zone. It did save him. He's still got a hell of a lot of health, but it does not help the engage. But also, that's how quick that call was made to
it's 4 seconds.
Engage.
So it's wherever you were 4 seconds ago. If you teleported from across the map, then you're going right back across the map.
Oh.
It's fine because Immortals are able to communicate and retreat.
Yeah,
they don't commit to the fight 4-on-5. Now the Baron starts up.
All right. Lourlo's in. There's no real connection
no damage.
here. Lourlo and Matt are the only ones there. That's their engage pushed out. Lourlo is at a sliver of health. They'll be surprised if he lives. Goes down quickly as ReignOver goes in for the plague. I think he got a Prey Seeker on it. And now they just start pushing down the tanks. The things that Team Liquid needs continue to go down too fast for the backline to get the damage they want. Immortals once again choose through the Liquid lineup.
Yeah, the start of that fight, FeniX and Dardoch were literally halfway across the map. And now it should be an easy Baron here for Immortals.
No 50-50. Dardoch is forced to go back. There would just be too much grabbed if they didn't have bodies on the map for Team Liquid here. So the empowered back now for Immortals. 1 of 2 dragons, 1 of 1 barons. We'll see this fight again.
Yeah, look at this. This 2 tanks and Kalista, but Kalista can't even get into DPS while the tanks are tanking damage. So it's a 3 versus 5 where one of your members only got a single auto attack off, and by the time the rest of the backline arrives, the front is dead, and Immortals just chase it down.
It's ridiculous how much Adrian's Janna provides for this team to reset a fight and get everything they want out of it instantly. We don't like this engage, reset, now we'll take it.
It's funny too because there's been such a heavy trend worldwide for melee supports and engage and playmaking supports, whereas Adrian has stuck a hard line to these range supports with Janna and Soraka only.
But he's also got that Leona we know of from long ago, so the guy's got a champion pool Immortals can really work with, and it looks like Immortals may look to go 8-0 as they pull the trigger around 20 minutes, have had the lead and continue to snowball, taking their time here. Immortals know where to push the limits and know when to pull back. They now have another minion wave. They continue to go forward, and Liquid doing everything they can, Kobe, but at 28 minutes, I don't think it's going to be enough. Looking for a few more kills for the fantasy points. The Nexus at half HP and looking to drop a bit more gold in their pockets. 28-15, Immortals takes down Liquid. Consistently quick games by these guys.
Yeah, we thought this might be one of the games to actually give them trouble, but Immortals continue their march to another undefeated season. One more game and they'll be halfway there.
Yeah.
8-0 for them already. And once again, yeah, they're very calm, well set up battle lines for a team fight comp.
Keep looking at Adrian's Janna. Every time they go in the fight, what Team Liquid wanted was the Unbreakable Will Maokai ultimate hit, right? Alistar Unbreakable Will and Maokai,
so
say.
it's the.
But you just monsoon that out, Alistar's ult wears off, and we saw him go down every time.
Turtle never even felt pressured in this game with the double supports.
That's what he needs. I want to know what it's like to be WildTurtle on that team. It's gotta feel good.
Huni also, it was good that Huni could manipulate time in this game because the teleports in sometimes got really, really close to him dropping. Being a little bit ahead of the team, but he got out every single time, whether it was through Lulu ult or using his own ult to backtrack, and only died twice in the entire game.
Oh, the bot lane. Liquid got their matchup. They got the early pressure, the early the early kills. They got what they set out to do. And it seems like once Immortals can start to control the map, they're out of laning phase, that's when they just get unlocked. The laning phase can still go well for them, but once they break it, they just run around and control it a few steps ahead.
It just seems